Hello, welcome to Helpful Home Buying and Selling with Lori Cianella. This is my daughter and assistant, Alyssa Cianella. And today the script's going to get flipped. Rather than me interviewing a small business owner, Alyssa's going to interview me so you can get to know me a little bit better. But before we get going, please be sure to follow my channel, like, comment, let's get everything boosted up and all that good stuff. And if you have any questions, of course, I will definitely answer. So all that aside, Alyssa.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Good to hear. All right. First, can you tell me a little bit about where you grew up?
I grew up just a few miles from here. I grew up in Adelphi, Maryland, in Prince George's County. Lived there my whole life. Moved to Montgomery County when I was 21, but have lived, right outside of the Beltway the majority of my life. Right outside of DC, not right outside the Beltway, right outside of DC.
Awesome. And where did you attend school?
So I went to Prince George's County Public Schools and I graduated from High Point High School, right in Beltsville. Even worked at the McDonald's right down the street, which at the time was the new McDonald's.
That's very exciting. So you said you purchased your first home at 21. Where was it located and what did you learn from that experience?
So it was located in Silver Spring in the Lay Hill area, and it was a condo. It was a new build. I was very excited. I was already in sales. I was making good money. This was an investment I knew would be important. And I went into it slightly impulsively and did not educate myself well enough and did not have a trusted advisor or agent with me. So I learned a few lessons the hard way. I learned that sadly, if people feel like they can take advantage of you, sometimes they do. In the end, I loved the condo. I had it for a year and a half and it provided me with the down payment on my next home.
Wonderful. That's great. Great to hear. So your second home purchase was actually land in St. Mary's County, where you then did a build on a single family home. Can you tell me about why that decision was made versus buying a home that was already built?
Oh, great question. Great question. So as you know, your father grew up in Prince George's County as well. We wanted to find a place where we could have a little bit more land than the smaller lots around here. Some friends of ours had moved down to St. Mary's County, which is why we started looking down there. And the reason we ended up going with the land and building the house ourselves so we could get the most out of the money we had at the time. We were in our 20s, funds were a little limited. So we did go into this with more education, we did more research. So I don't feel like although it was a learning experience, not so much of a negative, more of a positive learning experience.
That's awesome. And then you eventually moved back to Montgomery County in 1999. Can you tell me about why you ended up coming back and what made you choose the home that you decided to buy then?
Oh, definitely. So, we were there for 7.5 years, and then you came along. And when we moved down there, we were an hour away from our close family, our closest family members. And, just driving ourselves to events and functions and that sort of thing wasn't a big deal. But when you throw a newborn in the mix, it becomes a big deal. Especially difficult when you don't have that support right around the corner from you. So when I found out I was pregnant with your sister, we decided it was time to move. We wanted to be closer to family again. The reason we chose the house that we chose is because it was right around the corner from your auntie and uncle, your godparents. And we wanted to raise you all together as cousins. So that's how we ended up in the Cloverly area. I'm almost embarrassed to say that I never checked out the schools. I wasn't thinking about that. I was so embedded in newborn toddler life. I wasn't thinking, and Cloverly Elementary just fell into our laps, and I'm so grateful for that. The house we chose, the joke was that the house was in bad enough shape that we could afford the neighborhood. So your father and I weren't afraid of projects and hard work. That's not everybody's cup of tea. And if it's not, someone else's, then that's fine. But we didn't have a problem with it. So we walked right into that and started remodeling.
Awesome. All right. So you recently downsized in 2019, right before COVID. Can you tell me a little bit about that decision and why you chose to live here in Burtonsville?
Sure, sure. So we were in Cloverleaf for 20 years. I love this area. I love the area. I love how it is central to anywhere I want to go that I think is going to have like cultural events I want to go to. So DC's right down the street. I love downtown Silver Spring. Baltimore is right up the street. Columbia is very close. Annapolis, even Frederick's not that far.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the centrality of it. Centrality, is that a word?
No.
I love how central it is. We'll go with that. I decided to downsize because you all went to college and it was me and the dog bumping around in this big old house that, single family homes with yards and so forth need work.
Mm-hmm.
They need maintenance. The yard was another reason why we chose that house. The yard was amazing. We spent so much time out there when you were younger. But doing all that maintenance, I'm kind of over it. So I made the decision to downsize and buy the townhouse. And I just moved 3 miles down the road in Burtonsville. So I did go from Silver Spring to Burtonsville, but it's only 3 miles because, again, I wanted to stay central to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in the townhouse, we are even closer to 95, 200, 29, all that good stuff. So it actually ended up shaving like 10 minutes off, commutes to various things I like to do. And then the added bonus, you know what I'm going to say. Fairland Regional Park right across the street.
Yes.
I knew it was across the street, obviously. I knew there were trails and so forth. Had no idea how extensive it is. Mm-hmm. That has been such a godsend, especially during COVID. But even before, I was already all over those trails and getting to know. It's just that's my happy place. That's serenity to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did lots of walks on those trails during COVID.
Mm-hmm. And still do.
Yes.
We're still kind of in COVID. Just not as bad.
Absolutely. All right. So I know that you've been in sales for about 35 years, which is amazing. What about your previous experiences have prepared you for a career in real estate?
Oh, good question. So the majority of the sales positions I've been in were helping people make major decisions, major life decisions. So my first 15 years in sales in the car business. You're not only, helping people choose the car that's right for them in their life and so forth, but then also figuring out, is this going to fit into their budget? At that point, we were going from 4-year loans to 5-year loans, and that was huge, and that was overwhelming for people. So it was, helping that decision process with my clients, with my customers. I also spent 8 years setting up small business owners with 401ks, and that was pretty amazing, but getting them started on a retirement path, a lot of them thinking that they didn't even have this as an option, and being able to offer that to them and show them how that would work or could work in their lives. I really, really enjoyed that. So this it's another major purchase. Mm-hmm. This particular industry, because I get to be self-employed while I do it at this stage in my life, that is very important to me. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that I can take all the knowledge I've accumulated over the years and use that to best serve my clients.
Wonderful. All right. And I have one last question for you. If you could tell me the top 3 benefits that your clients receive choosing you as their realtor.
Alrighty. The top one's got to be that I've been in the area for so long. I've been in the area for 55 years. And I know it. I know it like the back of my hand. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very beneficial for people trying to figure out where to buy, where they want to live. Secondly, I specifically chose a smaller brokerage, Blue Crab Realty, because I like the personal touch that the smaller brokerage gives you. If you're with one of the larger companies, if you're as a client and you want to reach out to someone who's like the next level up, that sort of thing, that you a lot of times can't get a hold of the brokers. Mm-hmm. Kevin, as you know, is always accessible to all our clients, and now you are too. So if somebody can't get a hold of me, if somebody is unsure about something I've told them, if they're not happy with the way I'm being, or if they want to sing my praises, whatever they want to do, Kevin is accessible. Kevin gives out his number very easily. He's very responsive. So that was being able to give people that extra personalized service was very important to me. The third would just be, again, my experience in sales, my experience in helping people make these major purchases in their lives, and making sure that that major purchase fits in with their lifestyle, their family, where they want to go, helps them meet their goals. So that would be it. That's 3, right?
That's great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering my questions and your time. And I think we did great.
I think so too. I think so too. Thank you again for tuning in with Alyssa and me on Helpful Home Buying and Home Selling with Lori Sandell. Forgot my own YouTube channel. Sorry. Anyway, as I asked before, please feel free to comment. I will happily answer, but definitely follow. I want to see how many more subscribers we can get, to hit that button. Thank you. Have a great day.